Gang Minecrafters, it's your boy MC Rep, and as you can see in front of me, I have a dirt pile. We love dirt, right? And I think I'm just gonna go fishing. Oh, look at that. This is no ordinary dirt pile, boys. It is a secret door with my Bluetooth fishing rod. As you can see here, using the brand new Sculk sensor from the recent Snapshot 20W49A, we can make a door that opens when we reel or shoot our fishing rod. Isn't that awesome? And you go straight to your base. It's a very simple build, and I think this is one of the coolest things that you can do with the new Sculk sensor that's super simple and super relevant, because even though the Sculk sensor does emit redstone signals whenever we walk around or if we break a block, if you can see that you hear that it's activating. Maybe you saw the thing there. It doesn't activate, but when it sees the fishing rod, it will activate. Boom. Now, this was on stream. We've been actually doing a whole lot of different redstone builds with Sculk sensors and failing and doing things all over and over again. But we finally settled on something super simple so that we can showcase the new Sculk block in a very simple way that I think is relevant, right? So this build is kind of meant to be kind of covered up and slightly underground, so it looks a little bit more messier. But if we come over here to the above ground build, it does essentially the same thing. And you can see how simple it is. Very little redstone, nothing super complicated. But I do want to make sure that whoever is watching can understand the things behind it so that we can tell why it works, and so you can start looking into building your own redstone mechanics with the Sculk sensor, right? Now, if you've seen the recent Snapshots website post, you may have seen the chart that showed how different things that the Sculk sensor can pick up as different frequencies, and the fishing rod is one that both reeling and shooting out, or whatever one, shooting it and bringing it back in, has a frequency of like 14 or 15, right? And there's only a few things in the game that have that high of a frequency. I think the only other things are like lightning striking and explosions and maybe something else, right? So essentially, we can tell the Sculk sensor to block out any other sounds it picks up when in regards to opening and closing the door. It's like, even though it does sense that we are standing or falling or walking around, it's not going to use that to open the door. So how do we do that? The main thing that comes with it is the comparator. And the comparator does have a lot of uses, and I know with simple redstone users, this is something that you might not mess with very much, because I think it is one of the more complicated ones. Even before this was my first time actually learning about the comparator. I had to learn it for stream and this video. But it is rather simple. So essentially, what the comparator does when its backlight is off, you can see I can turn this part on and off. When it's off, it's going to allow us to compare the redstone signal from the front side to something that's on its sides. If you can see the two sides, those are for comparing. And so we are comparing it to this redstone torch, but by putting it 3 redstone dusts away, it's giving us a power level of 13. So this will allow us to say that, hey, if the Sculk sensor gives us something that is 13 or higher, then it's going to activate the door. And the fishing rod, given that the fishing rod is 15, when we're standing close to the Sculk sensor, it will activate. And so let's go to the next part. We kind of just have the wool here just to stop any other extra, anything else from being able to do it. And the weather wants to bother us again. Clear that off. Now, we bring this over to this piston here that will move this redstone block that is currently activating the pistons. So we want the pistons to be always activated so that when we're on this side, it's closed, so that when we do the fishing rod that activates the Sculk sensor, it will activate this piston block to move this block. As we can see, I have to be closer. It pushes it away from activating this, and the door opens. And it's a very simple way to make a kind of hidden door with your Bluetooth fishing rod. Boom. Very simple thing, and we just tried to put it underground with like a little walkthrough because, I mean, it's kind of hard to do it here. Like if you... Is it going to open? Open. Hurt me walking. It's like you're walking into the redstone, which might not be appealing. So we wanted to put this part underground, kind of blend it in with the environment. There we go. And you can lead into your base and expand. So that's pretty much it, and we kind of have the same thing here, just kind of it going around to the same redstone block that's going to push to stop these two from activating. It's very the same thing. So I think this is a great starter build to mess with the Sculk block, as well as get into the things so that you can test it with more things. So essentially just use this kind of knowledge in order to look at that chart that was on the website. I'll put a link down in the description in order to start expanding on what the Sculk sensor can do. It definitely includes a whole lot of math and everything, but this is a very simple way to do it before you start delving into the deeper halves of it. But with that being said, don't be a Fortnite fool, Heights hypocrite, or a Roblox reject. Always be an amazing Minecraft master. Thank you for everyone who came out to stream today to see us create some stacks of command blocks over there, lock ourselves up, test a bunch of things with the Sculk blocks, see the dripstone caves that are actually beneath us in this very world. Thank you all for coming out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.